Well, in 2013, a lot of housing was about the refi boom. What'll 2014 be about? To help suss it out, we have Homes.com Executive Vice President Brock McLean. Brock, thanks for coming on to the show today.
Thanks for having me today.
So, housing every year gets a little bit better, a little more solid, more markets recovering.
Yeah.
What do you think 2014 is going to look like?
I think there's going to continue to be some good news. I mean, from the Homes.com perspective and our local market index, we track 300 local markets to really get an idea of what's happening where consumers live. So they're interested in national numbers, but really what's happening locally. Good news is, year over year, all 300 markets we tracked gained. So good news. I think, according to some experts, I think 2014 may be somewhat slower from an increase standpoint, maybe in the 4 to 5% standpoint.
An increase in pricing.
Increase in pricing, right. But from a consumer standpoint, a lot of markets still with some availability and opportunity to jump in.
I think one of the things you had sent over was somewhere around 80 or 90 of the markets had reached their pre-recession levels.
Yes,
so
exactly.
A lot of markets left.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's still
recovery.
About 165 of the 300 that have attained 50%.
Yeah.
Still some opportunity, I think, to really jump in.
In terms of trends, and I think you personally are interested in this whole buying versus renting trend.
Yeah.
In terms of trends, what do you see for renters?
Yeah. The rental market is still incredibly robust. Between Homes.com and our sister site, ForRent.com, we're still seeing consumers grow from a traffic standpoint about nearly 10% a year. And with over a third of the housing in the U.S. currently being rented, the demand is certainly still strong there. And I think the more we see portfolios of investors coming in and buying homes, turning them into rentals to really meet that demand, I think that's going to sustain as well here in 2014.
When you talk about pricing, and you're talking about coming back from the depths of the recession and the crash, it's obviously easy when prices are so low to say, hey, look, we're up 50%. It sounds great.
Right.
Now it gets a little bit harder because you have come back. Now the comparisons get a little bit harder. Interest rates are going up a little bit. The refi boom is kind of played out. How big a deal do interest rates become?
I think they become certainly a challenge, and they are in the increase, although still near some historic lows. Again, in talking with some of the experts, I think there's some anticipation that interest rates are going to stay fairly flat, to maybe slightly higher in 2014. The markets that recovered the quickest also didn't have near the depressions that some others did. So a lot of the middle of the country, Texas, some of the energy-producing states really rebounded quickly and are there, and there's some leveling out, I think, in pricings in those areas. Other markets, Hawaii, West Coast, Florida, that really saw some bigger hits, are finding their way back with still some opportunities. And from a buyer perspective, interest rates are still low. Housing is probably more affordable than it was, 5 years ago. And so I think the opportunity is there to really assess rent versus buy decisions and kind of decide what's best for you.
All right, Brock McLean, Homes.com. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.